Hey everybody. I hope you had an incredible holiday weekend. Welcome back to the Listen Bitch podcast with your favorite mindset coach and podcast host, Brandon Lynette. This episode tonight is brought to you by finally deciding that you're done tripping over the same doom behavior loops. Okay. Congratulations, bitches. Growth season is here, and we're burning down the four biggest things that you have to stop doing if you actually want to change your life. It is December 1st, like the last month of the year. And this is when you should be starting all the bullshit that you want to do in January because we're not waiting. Okay. We are not waiting. But let's start with some classics here. We're gonna stop relying on low power, low effort, hope and vibes. Okay. That hope and vibes shit is out the window. Okay. That died with November. Okay. And it died with all the grass under my snow right now. We're done repeating strategies that have failed you. We're done letting other people's tiny imaginations cage you. And we're going to stop pretending that growth doesn't require discomfort. Okay. But before we dive in and you start cleaning out the junk drawer in the kitchen, let me tell you something very important. Tonight is the last night that you can grab my BOGO on my Zinzino Black Friday site. Okay. Balance oil, buy one, get one. The weight loss favorite that everyone's going crazy about. I'm telling you, like my friend Trish, I bought so many things off of her. She's been amazing, always has great products for me. She's on this weight loss product and she is blowing my mind. Like she has me excited. And you guys know how I feel about these weight loss products. Like I'm over the shit. I'm over slinging it, all the things, but I'm not going to be quiet about this one. Okay. But they're buy one, get one also. So if you want to upgrade your health without selling a kidney, this is probably your moment. Okay. And don't DM me tomorrow crying about it that you missed it because I've posted it. I've talked about it. Okay. So, you guys, let's get into tonight's episode. Four things to avoid if you actually want to change your behavior. And this is an episode brought to you by someone who has lived every single one of these points the hard way. Bitch, I went through it so I could help you through it. Okay. So learn from my mistakes before you have to go down the path of, self sabotage and destruction on repeat. Okay. Because this is the thing, like everybody says they want to change until change actually requires something of them. And behavior change is not magic. It isn't just alignment. I get so tired of people saying that you just have to get into alignment. No, bitch. And it's not that cute little Pinterest quote that people stick on their mirror, and ignore every fucking day. Behavior change is the literal rewiring of your habits. And I'm going to tell you, as you're rewiring your habits here, your brain gets a little rewired too. Okay. You guys know I'm a neuroplasticity hooker. I love that stuff. I've been obsessed with your brain for a very long time. Okay. This stuff matters. But this is, it's going to rewire not just your brain, but your habits, your instincts, your emotions, your stress responses, and every daily decision that you make. It's going to cost you comfort. It's going to cost you denial. It's going to cost you ego. And bitch, it's going to cost you excuses. The fastest way to sabotage this process is avoiding the four things that are going to make this change possible. Okay. Four core traps that you need to avoid if you want to stop thinking about change and actually become the person who follows through. And these aren't theoretical. These are traps I have literally fallen into, climbed out of, and I have watched thousands of people repeat like it's a religion. Okay. So, number one, we're going to avoid low power loans, which means you will stop running on borrowed motivation. If you want to change your behavior, you cannot depend on motivation that belongs to somebody else. Most people are running their lives right now on low power loans. The hype video that gave them the goosebumps for 35 seconds, the podcast that had them ready to start business by, 9 a.m. and back on the couch by 3 p.m., or that friend who hypes them up like a dollar store life coach. Borrowed motivation is the emotional equivalent of plugging your phone into one of those gas station chargers that promises the fast charge, but gives you exactly 2% and a false sense of hope. You cannot build consistent behavior on a power source that dies the moment that life throws a curveball. Real change requires internal power and electricity, not external applause. Okay. If your confidence depends on someone else clapping, you're going to collapse the second they stop. Trying to change your life is using that borrowed motivation is like showing at the gym with your headphones charged at 2%. Or Jesus, mine are plugged in because they were at literally at 3% right now. Sure, the warm up might get a soundtrack, but once the earbuds die, you're at the gym raw dogging it, listening to your own wheezing and wallowing in regret. Internal power is the only substantial power you have. You've got to avoid repeating dead strategies. This means like you've got to stop doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. One of the most common self-sabotage patterns is clinging to strategies that have never worked ever. But you've convinced yourself that maybe this time they'll magically start producing results, okay? People don't repeat dead strategies because they're lazy. You're doing this because it's familiar. And that familiarity feels safe, and safety feels easier than growth. But if the strategy didn't work for you the first 12 times, this 13th try isn't your breakthrough. This is you performing your denial as determination. You cannot change your behavior while dragging your old methods, your old thought patterns, your old daily rhythms with you. You need new structure. You need new routines. You need new emotional agreements. And yeah, bitch, you need new discomforts. Repeating the same behavior and expecting a new outcome is like trying to fix your marriage by buying more throw pillows. Sure, the living room looks so fucking cute, super cute, but that marriage still needs work, dummy. You're decorating a sinking ship. Change requires courage to replace what's familiar with what's effective. You've got to avoid letting other people define you. Their limitations are not your assignment. You cannot change your behavior if you're still living inside this version of you that someone else scripted. Can't do it. Most people's stuckness, I don't know if that's a word, but today it is. Most people's stuckness comes from the quiet prison of human opinions. Some bullshit that someone said years ago that got stuck in your emotional bloodstream. You're too much. You're not disciplined. You're not leadership material. You're not ready. You always fall off. These aren't truths. These are projections. And somehow we internalize them as prophecy. Letting people define what you're capable of is a guaranteed way to sabotage change before it begins. If you're waiting for approval or permission or applause or validation or a green light from people who don't even have dominion over their own lives, your growth is already capped. You're done. It's like letting someone who failed their driver's test 3 fucking times tell you what speed you're allowed to go on the highway. Make it make sense. Your identity has to come from truth, not proud consensus, okay? If you want to change your behavior, you have to stop shrinking to match the comfort zone of people who are threatened by your potential. Then you've got to avoid the fantasy of pain-free growth. You can't get stronger without resistance, bitch. This is the big one. People want change, but they want it to feel like a spa day. You want the transformation without the discomfort. You want the evolution without the disruption. New patterns without new discipline. Breakthrough without emotional bruises. You're in the fucking arena. You're going to get your ass kicked. You don't get growth without pain. It doesn't exist. Pain is not a punishment. It's information. It is feedback. It is the toll you pay for leaving the version of you that couldn't carry the next assignment. And growth hurts because it stretches the parts of you that are used to living small. It forces you into the gym of emotional reps that you've avoided for years. It interrupts comfort. It dissolves denial. It exposes excuses. It pushes you out of autopilot and into conscious self-leadership. Okay. Wanting growth without discomfort is like wanting abs while refusing to give up the chips and queso. Okay. Or maybe you just do one single plank and you stop because it burns and you think that's enough. Yeah, it burns. So does heartburn. Okay. And you survive that shit all the time. Discomfort's a doorway. You cannot go around it. You have to walk through it. Listen, bitch, if you avoid the truth, if you avoid the discomfort, if you avoid the structure, if you avoid accountability, then expect change to magically show up while relying on that low power bullshit motivation, okay? Or recycling dead strategies or letting insecure ass people tell you who you are and pretending growth shouldn't hurt. You are going to stay stuck. Guaranteed promise. Absolutely. Stay toxic, stay stuck. This is not that podcast for you, okay? But if you can grow some balls and avoid these 4 traps, you stop borrowing power and you start generating it. You stop rehearsing old patterns and you start building new ones. You stop letting limited people define you and you start living from God-given identity. You stop resenting discomfort and you start respecting it as the birthplace of strength. Behavior change is not for the faint of heart, but it's available for anyone who refuses to lie to themselves, hide from discomfort, or repeat dead strategies, outsource their identity, or expect transformation to come wrapped in a comfort blanket. It's not going to happen. This is how you change your behavior for real, for good, and for God's purpose, not for applause. And at the end of the day, bitch, behavior change isn't just self-help. You understand that? This is surrender. We have been called to this. You can gut it out in your own strength for a while, but the real transformation, the stuff that sticks, the real foundation for your future, that kind of shit rewires, your the desires, that steadies your mind, that cleans out your heart and gives you the backbone you didn't have before. That shit comes from Jesus. You are not changing to impress people. You are not changing to earn anything. You are changing because the Holy Spirit doesn't move into your life to keep you the same. He renews, he convicts, he strengthens, he lifts you out of the places that you keep falling back into. And I know because all of the shit I've talked about, I've been there over and over and over again. And this is the only way out for me. And I'm going to tell you, he lets it get uncomfortable because comfort never grows you. He's going to let the old habits break, even when it feels like parts of you are breaking with him. He's going to let people fall off who were never meant to guide you or be a part of this. And he will pry your fingers off of strategies that have never worked because he knows exactly who you were designed to become. When you stop borrowing motivation from the world and you start drawing your strength from Christ, everything shifts. You start wanting what he wants for you. You start seeing yourself how he sees you. All that important shit in the world starts to fall off and you see the truth and the beauty in what's real. You start realizing that the pain isn't punishment, it's pruning. Jesus never asked you to change by yourself. He asked you to follow him. And the moment that you take one step in his direction, that's it. One step, babe. One tiny baby step. Heaven backs you with a strength you didn't even know you have. So avoid the traps, do the fucking work, and embrace the discomfort. Let the author and the finisher of your faith help you write the next chapter. You are not doing this alone. You are doing this with the one who conquered death, and changing your behavior is what you were called to do. That is the light work that you were called here for. I love you guys. I'll see you later.